The time has arrived for our next Colossal to arrive in game. Oh, it's a snowflake! Now, this game is actually not my game, though. This game is Logan Peters. Logan has very kindly lended me their game to check out the Cold Island Colossal today. And we have them to thank as well, because my Cold Island Colossal Conundrum out over on Steam, it's a day behind for some reason. And I've seen other people saying that they've been doing it every day and they're a day behind, so I'm not sure what's going on there. But the fact is, of the matter is that Logan has kindly offered for me to be able to use their Cold Island today. So we'll be able to discover it. However, before we discover it, I think I actually want to go on over to Logan's Clan Island here, because something what we've not checked out yet is the Clan Island description, as it's been updated to feature more about the Clan Island Colossal's personality. So if we take a look here, we might be able to find a bit more. I'm struggling to see where the Conundrum structure is there. There it is. There's a Colossi. Okay, let's have a look at the description there. The Conundrum has been completed and the Colossi has been restored. The pronunciation of the Colossal's actual name is too difficult for mankind to articulate or comprehend. But to help the feeble human mind along, and for the purposes of this bio, it shall be bestowed the name blank. Okay, now I do know that inside of Anniversary, yeah, we're going to be naming these Colossals. I did hear that from Monster and Lamar. However, I didn't listen to when they were reading this description. I hurried along because I wanted to check it out with you guys. So let's have a look here. Below lies an X script, translated from the ancient Aramonic from the Merogicon. I still can't say that. That's Monster and Lamar's journal, where basically every single piece of lore is detailed inside of the monster world. So let's continue. In the earliest days of the monster world. Bleep. We're just going to say bleep for every single Colossal now. Sort out the cosmic being that had taken up residence among the stars arranged in the shape of a crisp leaf. Linking it back to Blassoom's constellation. The Celestials came before the Colossals, so we're tying that back inside of this description, I do think. It'd been ordained that the Colossal, like so many of its kindred, would serve as the musical instructor for these entities. Also, it's detailing how they taught the Celestials how to sing. We know that already, game. And impart upon them the majesty and magic of music. When beep first made contact, they were very inspired by the powerful life energy emanating from their pupil. The energy from their pupil inside of the spirit forms. The very cosmic dust from which it was constituted could be likened to spores on the wind. Eventually, they settled together on a voice that evoked the effervescent sounds of spring, the whisper of the wind through the reeds, the potential contained within each tiny seed, and a name. After reinventing itself as the celestial plant, the Blassoom gives in return a lifelong affinity for all green things, a special communion with nature, and a deep connection to one of the foundational elements of the universe. And then it's saying, return later for the reveal of the Colossal's name. And I think that's going to be the case for every single Colossal, so we'll have to see more about that. Might be hinting towards further things for the game there. What I find quite fascinating is this bit. This is the new bit where it's on about how it did it in the first place and it made contact. And the overall formation of Blassoom itself, which is quite intriguing. Doesn't quite reveal as much, I think, about the Colossals and their personalities. It's much more of a backstory, this. Maybe the Cold Island one might be a bit more personality based. We might get a little bit more about it. But as time has come now, Logan has very kindly said I can go ahead and get the final piece today, which really did melt my heart, because I thought I wouldn't get to discover it until tomorrow in game, but here we are. Thank you, Logan. Let's have a look then. Oh my goodness, day 32, here we go. Oh, predictions. Lots of people have been saying it's going to have a star in its eye. I'm not sure about that. Maybe. Well, let's have a look. The final piece will reveal all now as towards what this eye looks like. Oh, it's a snowflake! Oh, I would not have guessed that. A snowflake. Of course, Cold Island, that's it. Oh. Wait. Oh, that's amazing. That design is well cool. We have the skin on as well and it still worked. I thought it didn't work with the island skins. Oh, that's cool. Oh. That's very different towards its Plant Island one, but it still makes that connection there as being somewhat similar. I didn't expect the sound to play at the beginning, though, to be honest. Are all of them just going to play at the beginning? Is that the trend here? I feel like that's all it's going to do. I'm going to assume I somewhat don't feel like it's going to do any more of the Cold Island one. It'd be a bit of a bummer if it doesn't, but I just get the feeling the Cold Island song is formatted that way. Yeah, I think that's all it does. We're approaching the end of the song now, and it's still not moving. I like how it's a hexagon. Look at this guy. His eyes are massive. I like how they've changed the designs for the Cold Island one. That does really excite me towards the future ones, because my main concern with the Colossals was that they weren't going to differentiate from one another, and we might get a similar one, because I think it's very easy to do the Plant Island one for each one, having a snowflake. You see, that gives me a lot of hope towards the future. That's awesome. Couldn't have asked any more from that design there. See what you look like closing. Yeah, that's really nice. Yeah, the song has just ended there and it's not done anything again. I did close it for a bit, but we're down on it not doing anything, I do think. Yes, so once again, we're not choosing a name for this one. We're doing it later in the year, but let's have a look here. Below lies an extract once again from the Majorca Con, however you say it. The Colossal Beep. I'd always considered themselves a loner. No, especially in comparison to some of the more gregarious members of the Colossal choir. All references towards the other Colossals. It was never easy for them to socialize or find common ground or shared interest with the others, to the point where being alone seemed like the most favorable option. You know, this is very reminiscent of the Cold Island lyrics. Everything makes sense now. It's like it's speaking towards the Cold Island Colossal. That gives a whole new meaning to the song. That's really interesting. As such, there was a great deal of trepidation on Beep's part when it was determined that they would be responsible for the musical tutelage of one of the future Celestials, Glacier. After all, the cosmic entity in question enjoyed a reputation for being overwhelmingly friendly and outgoing. How would they get on? So we got a loner, and then we got someone who's friendly. Yeah, I can see how this clash is going on. There's lots about this one's personality inside this one. Love it. It's like they said they would on My Singing Monsters Live. As it turned out, this odd couple pairing proved mutually beneficial to both parties. The newly christened Glacier gained an understanding that shyness or introversion is not the same as being unfriendly. And Beep learned not to try and change themselves to accommodate others. Know their worth, celebrate their weirdness, and present their authentic selves, and most importantly, to embrace the wintry stillness of solitude. Very nice. Lots more detail there about what the Cold Island Colossal is like, and the interesting part there is referencing the other Colossals themselves. Those bios are my favorite bios inside of the game, and we've only got 2 just as of yet, and that really excites me towards the rest of them. Learning more about the kinship with the Celestials is going to be really interesting, and if we do potentially see them one other day, these Colossals in their true forms outside of the islands, I would love to learn a little bit more about them too, which would be awesome. Yeah, I'm really happy and stoked about this one. The sound doesn't add as much as Plant Island, but I'm loving the differences that made to both the design and the sound. Couldn't ask for anything else, guys. I'm pretty stoked about this. Give me more My Singing Monsters lore, guys. I'm all down. If you guys enjoyed this though, please do make sure to go and check out this video over here. I'll see you later though, guys. For now, bye guys.